Hello, everybody. It is 11:10, Sunday, August 25th, 2019, and this is the upper body part 2. Should have been done Saturday, but got a little bit busy, got a little bit lazy. If I put it together, that would be Lizzie. Got Lizzie, lazy and busy. Not terribly busy, just busy enough to be like, and yeah, so I'm saying 80% lazy, 20% busy, because really, I had time yesterday. So after I kill this excuse, I'm going to read the public service announcement. Not kill the excuse, use yeah, whatever. Okay, please do not waste your time watching this video unless you have a very specific reason to watch this video. All right, that being said, with the public service announcement right out of the gate, if you do have a specific reason to watch this, more than likely, I'd recommend you watch this on double speed, which means if you're in a browser watching this on YouTube, there's a little gear down here. Press the gear. There will be a thing that comes up, a menu, and it'll say playback speed. You press playback speed. The fastest you can currently go is about 2 times the speed. If you're on the application, the same thing goes. Just 3 dots up here. Playback speed times 2. Okay, so what does this consist of? Not pre-workout. What is that? A warm-up, that's the words. All right, warm-up. Maybe even a pre-warm-up before the warm-up. So there's the warm-up, and then there's the exercises. Like I said, it's the second upper body strength exercise of the week ending today, pretty much. So the warm-up consists of a few exercises my dad likes, and then 3 L-shaped chin-ups, 4 glide downs, 7 inverted sit-ups, 13 push-ups, 7 air squats, and 6 bends. After that, we have the exercises. The exercises start out with incline bench. Between every exercise, there is a breathing exercise. Then after incline bench, it is chest machine. Well, I should probably go. Incline bench is going to be 3 sets. Set of 6, lower the weight. Set of 8, lower the weight. Set of 10. Next is chest machine, which is set of 8, lower the weight. Set of 10. Next is lat push downs, which is different than lat pull downs, which is part of upper body part 1. Lat push downs is kind of a back and tricep exercise. Set of 8, lower the weight. Set of 10, 2 sets on that one. Then second to last is only 5 exercises on this now. Hammer curls. Set of 8, lower the weight. Set of 10. Last exercise, different kind of settings, not necessarily breathing exercises in between every round. Maybe just enough time to say a few words and then go. It's sitting down, bent over flies. Then there'll be a set of 15, not keeping the same weight the whole time, set of 5. Set of 15, 4 sets of 5 after that. And then that is it and everything. So let's get started. The explanation took 4 minutes. So I could have been a little bit faster with that. All right. Start out with the exercises my dad seems to like. I'm going to do 7 reps. Start out with like almost a swimming, paddling. Paddling would probably be a better thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shoulder shrugs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Little snap, crackle, and pop. 5, 6, 7. I don't know if the snap, crackle, and pop's a good thing. And like right there, right at that motion, feeling a lot of tension right here. It's amazing, the tension right there. And it just kind of goes away when I bring the shoulders down. So that's kind of nice. 2 more exercises on the upper body. forward raises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lateral raises. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. Then there is kind of like high knees. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Okay. Second to last part of the lower body for this warm-up exercise is frontal raises using your legs, and then it'll be lateral raises using your legs, obviously one leg at a time. Because right now I can't seem to float. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I ever believe I will float? No, not without major gravitational technology of some sci-fi sort that I don't think will come to pass within the maybe next 100 years. I don't know. Remember what I said about this thing explains absolutely nothing. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That feels kind of good. All right, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Might have gone a little fast on that. Oh well. 3 L-shaped chin-ups. Turn your body into a right angle and do chin-ups. 1, 2, 3. Two of the main challenges I have in that is keeping my knees straight, trying to straighten out my legs as much as possible, and going all the way down. And I probably could go for a little further higher. Once I get the knee thing kind of put into muscle memory, and then get that good feeling of going all the way down every single time. It seems like when you go down, there's a bit of a almost pop there. All right, 4 glide downs. 1, 2, 3. Oh, on my glide downs, I can work on trying to get the topmost position. How high I can do that. 1 more glide down. 4. Oh, that feels nice. Believe it or not, that actually felt good. A little bit of wind, a little bit of maybe my cardiovascular sucks, which it probably does, but definitely breathing, blood flow. And that's really what I want out of a warm-up, to literally feel like your body's getting a little warmer and looser and less injury prone. Hopefully this warm-up takes a little less than 15 minutes. Oh, good idea to stretch here. Do like the stretch. Don't like how the gut sags over the pants, but you know, it just means I gotta dial in my diet better and maybe push the weights up a little bit higher. Today I'm pushing the weights a little bit higher on 2 exercises, just a tiny bit. One of the sets, the last set on the incline press, it's the 3rd week in a row of first week was the first set, second week was the first set and second set, or first set and then second set, and now it's the 3rd set, so the 3rd set actually goes up, and now they're all within a small margin of lessening to each other. And I think the other exercise is the lat pull downs. I think last week doing lat pull downs, they felt a little easier than they should have, so jumped up the weight on that. That feels good. Oh, would be nice to get rid of the gut, but it's not really most important. Maybe a year or 2 from now it will be important, but right now I really don't have anybody to impress. But that being said, I'd like to look at myself in the mirror and see a good six-pack that I don't have to, whatever for. Okay, this is inverted sit-ups. There'll be 7 of them. And make sure the hooks are nice and tight on there before going all the way into the upside down position. Nice little stretch right here. Oh, that's good on the spine. Hopefully good on the spine. Oh, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit of momentum from the swinging. 5, 6. You can use negative momentum. 7, 8. Why am I doing 8? There's only 7. Ugh. Out of roll thinking about negative momentum. What I mean by negative momentum, let's say I'm swinging like this. So if I swing and I go up like that, or like that, I do the sit-up going like this, well, on the way backwards, it's actually harder to fold yourself up. So I think it is. Maybe I should just try to go for 0 momentum, put my elbows against the door frame. That might help out right there. Good excuse to stretch. Yeah, I've been in the process of, in between, well, not while videotaping it, but cleaning this area, spraying it down, disinfecting, cleaning my bench and my machine and all that kind of stuff. Just a quick spray down, a little bit of dusting, and some paper towels. Because I think my machine was starting to have an interesting smell. So those cushions usually don't absorb sweat, but who knows how long I clean them. So now, nice and clean, disinfected, all that kind of stuff. We'll find out today if there's a smell or not, but I don't think there will be. So that is good stuff. All right, now we're gonna adjust the angle of the camera, and gonna go ahead, get that out of the way. Do a few push-ups. Something I've been doing, at least 5 push-ups as soon as I wake up in the morning. I do them here because the push-up, they're not really push-up bars. They are push-up bars that turn. So the push-up bars are here, and I write it down using a Sharpie on cardboard on the floor that protects wires. Okay, why is there cardboard on your floor? It's protecting wires that are going across the room for speakers that I rarely ever use. Big fan of headphones. All right. All right, so gonna go for 13 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like the spot better. 5, 6, 7, 8, because my feet are a little bit more elevated. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wash my beard. I think my beard's still wet. Yep. Thought it was dry by now. All right, so there's 13 of that. Right in the position for air squats, which is just sitting down and squatting up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 5, 6, 7. Now it just bends, kind of like putting my feet together, kind of touching your toes. See if you put your knuckles in your toes, but when I put my knuckles in my toes, I'm tempted to bend the knees even a little bit. Don't want to do that. 2, 3, 4. Not the full knuckle, I got to the second knuckle there. 5. I think this is 6. That's all we need. All right. It's actually easier to touch the floor with my knuckles than it is to touch my feet with it, because the bend is just, yeah, feels more when I push. Anyway, it's just an interesting idea. Wouldn't think so. All right, that's the warm up. Now we're ready for official exercise. Breathing good. A lot of good breathing here. Incline bench coming. I got the weights, all that kind of fun stuff set up. Turn the light out. Not gonna need to go in there anymore. All right. So, all right, that looks like a good spot for incline bench. First thing we're gonna do is a breathing exercise. So it's about 16 minutes. Took about 4 minutes of explanation, I think. I don't remember exactly. So it's about, 12 minutes of actual warm-up. So I remember when 15 minutes was a good standard warm-up for me. There was a bit of talking in there, and there is a bit of talking now. Trying to figure this out. A lot of these notes and these words are just really to myself to remember, to influence me more than anybody else. So if they influence you, great. Be very thankful if you're going on double speed. All right, breathing exercise. I'm gonna count with my fingers. Gonna do 7 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the count with the fingers. Have to not let too much mental space be wasted in my head towards yeah, exactly. That's exactly the reason why. Don't want too much mental space to be wasted in my head towards thinking about the count, where I'm going to be thinking about the actual breath. 2 things I'm going to be focusing on. The primary thing is going to do it all through nose, in and out using the nose, and I'm going to put my tongue near the tip of my no, not near the tip of my teeth, at the top of my mouth, the roof of my mouth. But I'm going to have it, instead of pushing really hard, pushing very, very light. Not even pushing, just hovering in a spot where it just barely touches the roof of my mouth, and trying to make it like right in that in-between zone where if I let loose on it a little bit, or relax it a little bit, it won't be touching the roof of my mouth. But if I activate it, it will be touching it. So I'm just trying to get the lightest pressure possible on the top of my mouth. That's one thing I'm going to be focusing on. The second thing I'm going to be focusing on, 3 things I'll be focusing on. Blinking. I'm going to be using blinking to go through the different phases of breath. Breathing in, holding full, breathing out, holding empty. Then I'm also going to be counting, not just with my fingers. I'm not going to be focusing on that really all. Not a lot of mental real estate's going to be, not too many neurons firing, going to be keeping count of the actual breaths, but it will be keeping up with the heartbeats on the holds. I'm not going to measure the heartbeats on the breathing in, breathing out, just because it seems like that's a little bit too complex for me right now. But focusing on those 3 things. And once I get my tongue set, there's a certain feeling I can just navigate. So that's good. The blinking, least priority. But I might want to do, like, sometimes on a full in-breath or a full exhale, just keep my eyes closed. And just kind of use that as a, the blink is here, so that's where the count starts on your on your counting heartbeats, and on the holds. So it's all going towards a good feeling. That's what we're after, a really good feeling. Now that's all been explained. Hopefully I will do that on every single set of every single exercise except for the 5th one. And the script right here, pre-written. There's something nice about handwriting it and feeling good about it. I do feel bad about wasting the paper. I'm trying to become basically almost paperless, purely digital documents and all that kind of stuff. But this is nice, partially because what I do now is I never buy paper. I just find scrap paper, pieces of mail I tear up, and find good spots where I can write stuff. So I have random pieces of paper about stuff, take a picture, throw it away. At least it had a second life using for my notes. All right. Let's start this thing out. I spent a little extra time holding my breath on empty right there because that was a good place to kind of finish it. Set of 6 incline press. Process, pick up the weights, put them near my knees, sit down with them still near my knees because I have to use my knees to actually pick them up and put them in position. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feels like I'm right where I should be weight-wise with that. Not too terribly difficult, not uncomfortably close to my edge, but near enough where I can really feel it. And I'm in this for no injuries, doing this for the long haul. Consistency is going to be more powerful than intensity. That's the theme behind these workouts, and I gotta remember before I am tempted to kind of go too hard, because I feel like I have a little bit left in the tank. Lower the weight, breathing exercise. There's going to be a set of 8 coming up. Not bad. Not feeling too bad at all. I think the breathing exercises really helped that. Thursday or Friday, I pushed out a workout without a lot of breathing exercises. I think the breathing exercises do help. I'm not going to mess with too much of the blinking on this. Just kind of lean into it and keep my eyes closed. Here we go. Yeah. All right. Set of 8 coming up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's some special feelings right there. Real good sweat. Do you smell bad? Smell quite nice. Definitely gonna get clean after this. Again, keeping it clean. You're doing a good job. set of 10. Oh, gotta dial it down a little bit. Almost forgot. Broke sequence. Good thing I double checked myself. That would have probably been ugly. Set of 10. Let's just say I'm feeling it. Not in a bad way, definitely in a good way. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, come on now, 8, come on now, 9, 10. All right. That was probably really constructive for me. My body is just gonna have a lot of fun rebuilding what I just did if I probably do 2 things, 3 things. Breathe right, eat right, sleep right. I think I'll give my body a really good chance to rebuild what I just did there. Not injury, just I got close to my failure point, close to my edge. Just for a moment. Don't want to live there. Nice place to visit. Oh. Reminder to self, do a video about the combination of what I call comfort tolerance test, combining it with feeder sets. And the short version I'll explain to you right now is in comfort tolerance tests, you just take a weight, do an exercise, and just see how far you can go with it. One set till you're till you're uncomfortable. You're testing your comfort tolerance. Or I guess it's discomfort tolerance test, but I got used to calling it comfort tolerance test. So you can go very uncomfortable, you can go to muscle failures, but just one set. You can go to, you feel sick, whatever it is, whatever you want to prove. It's just one set, so it's cool if you're out of gas afterwards, you have nothing left to do. A feeder set is a set of, like, let's say I want my shoulders to become stronger. I'm like, everything's kind of weak. I want to do different things with my shoulders. I'm feeling the weakness there. It feels imbalanced compared to the rest of my body. Some of my motions, some of the things it's very activity driven for me. Some people it's aesthetically driven. But if I notice that there's certain activities where everything else is running smooth, if I just had my shoulders a bit stronger, I could, that's my weakness. So do a feeder set for me, strengthening out the weaknesses in particular activities. And a feeder set for shoulders might be just shoulder press and 10 sets of 10 with a light weight. Now, combine these two ideas. I don't know exactly what to call it yet. Uncomfortable feeding. I don't know. But basically what I do, and I've only done this a couple times so far, but it's a fun thing. And I remember hearing about or reading about a guy that does chin-ups. He likes his chin-ups. And one of the things he did for his chin-ups is he would do 100 chin-ups. It didn't matter how many sets. All it was is he'd go as hard as he could go, and then he would stop, and let's say he got on 50 chin-ups or 10 chin-ups, he would just go take a pause, and then after the pause, do another set of whatever the number is, just count it, and constantly be counting up, not counting up sets of 10, it would just be the goal is 100. Like in the feeder set, the goal is 100, but in the feeder set, it's paced, 10, 10, 10, 10. This was paced by how much you could do in one set. So if you can do a set of 50, and then you can just do, 3 sets of 10, get you up to 80, and then you can do 2 sets of 5, and then it's just like 5 sets of 2, and you're finally there. But you're at 100. And what I decided to do, and this is where the trick comes in. Cheating actually helps you. I decided to do, whenever I get to whatever it is, let's say I'm going for a 100 in a certain exercise. And I have my weight and all that. I'm going to 100, and I can only do on the first set 30. Or 40, let's say 40, or 20, let's say 20. 20. I got that 20 out of the way. I'm only going to allow myself 3 breaths, and I'll do maybe a helpful video on this because I think it's a really fun technique. 3 breaths. Now, if I want to cheat and I want to make my rest time a little bit longer, I'm going to cheat by making those breaths, only 3, very, very long. So it forces you to do really long breaths if you want to cheat a little bit. If you're amped up and you want to go to the next set, hey, cool, do faster, but do when you're at your breaking point, do 3 breaths. Why am I doing 7 instead of 3 on these? I just want to maximize it, I guess. I think the breath, well, a little bit of real emotion here, real discussion, real conversation. Some people would say real talk. I don't want to use that expression too much. The real deal is every day I want to do a certain number of things. And one of those things is breathing exercises. So if I do the breathing exercises plus my workout, I can check that box that says breathing exercises and have a little less mental weight that I put on myself. Don't put too much mental weight on myself. I try to find that, what some people would call the Goldilocks zone. Maybe Goldilocks zone is really more about planets and life, but this is more about life of me performing at what I consider a worthwhile pace in my life. So not too much challenge, not to where I break, but not so weak in challenges that I wither. And there's certain activities that I want to do every single day, certain activities I want to do once a week, certain activities I want to do once a month, certain activities I only want to do once every 3 or 4 months. But these activities, I think, strengthen my health span, my mental acuity, and various other skills and general potentials I want to expand upon. I might be wrong in this, I might be right. If I'm wrong in this, hopefully I'll try to make the journey very fun. But yeah, so not too challenging, but not so challenging where I know not so weak and challenging where I'm just unenthused. But yeah, certain really simple challenges. Simple challenges are great. Saying to myself, hey, can I throw this hacky sack up in the air 3 times? That's a small challenge, but it feels good. It also makes you like, okay, you kind of like, okay, I want it to go here to here, but only that high. And I only want to do wrist motion, no fingers. Oh, as soon as I add parameters and all that kind of stuff, it becomes more difficult. And it's like almost automatic. It's a little too easy. You start with something easy, you go ahead and do it, like, okay, well that was almost too easy. Let's add a few parameters. Exact things, only moving the elbow joint, and then having it go exactly straight up and down as far as you can tell. Fun example on goals and challenges and all that kind of stuff. And I think human beings have certain innate things that makes them better people. And I think one of those things is correct goals and challenges for their personalities. But I could be wrong. Matter of fact, I'm certain that there are some cases of people that is the exact opposite for what they need. But we won't go about that. We will go to the next exercise, which will be chest machine. All right, I already set up the proper weight for it. It's going to be a set of 8, set of 10. I did a lot of talking, so the breathing exercise is going to be abbreviated for this one. That's a good angle for that. All right, gonna breathe. Then we do set 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, that felt about right. Probably in that Goldilocks zone. Lower the weight, breathing exercises, then a set of 10. This time, even though that last time I wasn't cheating I wasn't really using this, I'm gonna make sure by putting my feet on the outside right there instead of on the inside of the padding. Set of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathing exercise. here's something interesting. On the holds, if you're holding with your breath full, the longer that you're holding with your breath full, the more difficult it is to hold long for a long period of time with your breath empty. So right there, I started doing some counting. Now I wasn't counting heartbeats when I was breathing, either in or out. I was counting heartbeats when I was holding. So let's say you do 10 heartbeats, or 3 heartbeats, or 5 heartbeats. So you're breathing in, you're just counting to 5. If you count fast, I think it influences your heartbeat. So it's like when you're counting to 5 heartbeats on the hold, those heartbeats are a little bit faster. But if you're counting slow on the inhale, just natural counting, then your heartbeats get slower on your hold. So it's almost kind of an indirect mind trick for heartbeat control, or controlling your heartbeat's tempo, your pulse. Maybe that's the best word. All right. Lower the weight. And it is lat push downs. Nice fun standing exercise. And perfect. All right. Feeling good about this one. There we go. Got that. Kind of in the center here. Instead of wide grip, it's kind of a narrow grip. Eventually, I'll get myself a rope. Although I like this because I'm grabbing higher. So maybe I'll keep this like this and just focus my thumbs outwards on the edge of that thing. I may be able to go tight, just thumbs touching together, or even tighter. But I kind of like that spot right there. That feels pretty good for this. Maybe it's better than the ropes in some ways. All right, I'm gonna lean into it a little bit. Try not to move too much back and forth. This is a good angle for me to see if I'm swaying a lot. A little bit of swing, but not much. Set of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's an interesting exercise. Lower the weight, breathing exercise. Set of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. that's it for in here. All right, so that seems like a good spot. 53, 30 seconds into this. Not bad. The breathing exercises are definitely taking up a lot of time. Speaking of breathing exercise after I set the weights for the proper thing. And check this out. I accidentally went a little higher than I was supposed to on that last exercise. I'm glad I did because that set of 10. So I'm gonna put a box around this. That's why I looked at that thing last. I was like, man, shouldn't I have moved it down a little bit further in weight? But this feels great. So that whole 2 set was a little bit heavier on each set than last week, and it felt fine. Felt like I could do more. So maybe next week I'll up it even once more. Put a little arrow on there, and maybe a question mark, or 2, or 3. 3 question marks, because I like writing question marks. Okay. I really like the upside down question mark in Spanish, because it starts out at the beginning of the sentence, so you can tell right away that, like, hey, at least I think that's how it works. I'm not certain. I think it starts out at the beginning of the sentence and the end of the sentence. It's almost like quotation marks, but it's for a whole sentence, not a quote. And it's like, hey, this is a question. That's kind of fun in writing. It's like stuff in writing where it's like a way you're speaking makes something sound like a question. That road over there. You know, instead of a statement, that's road over there, that road over there, is like, is that road over there? That road over there? That's probably better. I don't know. Need to work on my vocalizations on things. That's why I talk so much on these videos. Practice for talking. Trying to get better at being a communicator. Trying to become less verbose and more laconic. And I know that these videos are not evidence of me being very laconic. But when talking to other human beings that I'm in the presence of, I think it's a benefit for me to be able to organize my thoughts faster before pushing those thoughts out of my mouth. It seems like a good service for other folks. Okay, so that's done. Did not dial up the weights. Get that in the proper place. A breathing exercise to kind of get myself in the proper place and mindset. sometimes near the end of breathing exercises or at the very end of a breathing exercise, it's kind of easy to become the moment, really become and be in that moment. Hard to explain, but I was focusing on a lot of different things, and none of them had to do with the future. It was all measuring that present moment. The heartbeats, my tongue inside my mouth, the feeling of my body, just the general feeling, and the goodness. Focusing on, sometimes you hit something and you hurt. You focus on that. Like sometimes you hit something and you don't have time to focus on it. So if the pain's not bad enough, you'll just kind of forget about it, and then like, oh, where'd that bruise come from? But I think just like you can focus on areas of pain, you can focus on areas of pleasure, or areas of tension, or areas of relaxation, or areas of happiness. I can't think of a better way to word that right now, but just my body, my lungs, the back of my arms, my back, all this feels just kind of happy. Like the blood flow and all that kind of stuff is nourishing everything. Things are working and things are feeling good. The joints are feeling smooth and just being really happy. The good news is if you get injured enough in your past, when you don't get injured on something, it feels pretty good. So, if your injuries aren't too bad and aren't too permanent, not necessarily pain makes you stronger, but in this case, pain makes you more appreciative when you don't have pain. So acute pain makes you more appreciative of when you don't have that pain. So I'm very thankful right now that I'm not in pain and things are going good. It was nice to be in that moment. And still, the moment's feeling good. My neck feels a little bit of tension, but in a good way. And it's nice. It's I love when my body tells me, be careful of this action because it could lead to injury. So it gives you a little notice, a little bit of tension or whatever. And you're just like, okay, I'll play with that tension, but I'll keep it away from injury and try to loosen it up a little bit. And maybe it's just like my body or anybody's body says, hey, I need a little attention here. There's tension for attention's sake. Like, oh, a little tight right here. Let's see if we can loosen that up. Make sure your knees are feeling good. So kind of slap the knees around if nothing sharp happens. And like, okay, the knees are good. No sharp pains or nothing. That's kind of cool. And then that motion. I love it when I get no snap, crackle, pops, but when you do get snap, crackle, and pops, not the cereal stuff, but just actually from your body, cracking noises from your body, when there's no pain associated with it, cracking your knuckles or whatever. Not necessarily that's the most healthy thing to do in the world, but if you're going to move, your body's going to crack. And it's nice when it does and there's no real pain associated with it. Sometimes it's even like a little bit of tension goes out of the way. Although I have seen it go too far. A friend of mine loved, he could crack his body all over the place. And it said eventually it just made him, it brought him pain. He would crack his body so much. So I think I've been there. I think I've cracked a joint or whatever and just like, ooh, took that one too far. All right, so right now I'm going to ring the appreciation bell because that's something I try to do every day. I got a little bell. My buddy and I were playing some music. We had to go out and get something. I saw a little bell and it just said, here's appreciation. Here's what appreciation looks like to me. And here is what it sounds like. A little bit of appreciation. Put it by my door so when I walk in or when I walk out, it's really easy to ring the bell. And opposed to, in some places, ringing that bell means a lot of different things. Some places it means giving up. Sometimes it means getting knocked out, but in this case, it means appreciation. Ring the appreciation bell. And that's what I call it, the appreciation bell. This is what I mean by living in my own subjective reality. It's very subjective, but it makes me happy. And I think if I go too far into it, I might scourge sanity a little bit. But I do feel good, and I don't think it hurts anybody to live in my subjective reality where ringing a bell can make you happy just because of all the associations that you pile into that bell. Classical conditioning on yourself. Good news is I'm the easiest person for me to fool. So, yeah, that silliness works. I actually feel good right now because I rang that bell a few times. And all it takes is for me feeling good, then ringing the bell. So, call it neuro-linguistic programming, call it classical conditioning, not so much NLP. It's really, I guess, more subjective reality, classical conditioning, because it's all mental states. It's not like, well, okay, there's a physical anchor in there, but anyway, won't go into that. We'll go into these two things. Hammer curls, set of 8. That's a little heavier than I thought. Make sure it's all right. There we go. It was like it wasn't unstuck. So now it's unstuck. All right. Making sure I got the room in case I sway a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Lower the weight. As you can tell, I sort of like the approach of doing the most difficult task first, or at least attempting to do the most difficult task first. That way, win or lose, you at least gave it a shot, at least you tried. That was a success. But yeah, I apply the doing the most difficult task first, not universally, but in a lot of situations, like I've applied it to lifting weight. Your first set, the heaviest, and then it goes down from there. Sort of. I mean, I'm adding reps, but not much. And then I like that. It feels like I should adopt that to more areas in my life, and areas where I think I should. Like today, I could have been right out of the bed doing this, but at the same time, I was like, there's a couple things I really got to phase through. Like there's a couple tasks that I do, maybe with breathing exercises or meditations or whatever, that I want to do every day. And they work better when they're spaced out evenly. If I do a stack of 3, it's like cleaning out your ears. Let's say you clean out your ears 20 times a month, but you do it all in one day. Come on. So yeah, there's a couple tasks that are better spaced out. So those are the ones I did mostly this morning before jumping on this, but I wanted this to be the first major task on a Sunday where I have almost no obligations other than most of the ones I put on myself, and certainly no obligations towards other people, which is absolutely fantastic. So double check to make sure I dialed down the weight. The weight is dialed down. Good news. Yeah, that one's good. Seems like I almost checked 2.5 times there. breathing exercise. This one I'll just stand for. Make sure, hey, the safety pins are still doing their job. That's good. This one I will count with my fingers, but I'll actually just push the fingers in. Set of 10 hammer curls. Coming up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. One of these days I should make a cartoon that would feature the Kool-Aid guy, Buster Walls. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then like Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah. And maybe somebody else who says that. Maybe the kid that says, yeah, boy. You know, and the boy lasts forever. Yeah, buoy. You know, because buoys. Anyway. Have all them three hanging out. Maybe the Macho Man is on a cruise. He's looking out the window. He's like, this is a great vacation. Oh yeah. And then like the Kool-Aid guy busts through the door. Oh yeah. And then busts through, and then, let me see that window. Oh yeah. And then busts through the window and the side of the ship, and both of them fall out on the side of the ship. And they come back up and they're next to a buoy, and it's, yeah, buoy. And they're like, oh yeah, you know, all together. And they're all like exchanging it really quick. You know, you got, oh yeah, and then like, yeah, boy, you know, and they're all like yelling at each other, but they're only capable of saying those words. It's funny to me. Probably that's funny to a group of one. Not much of a Venn diagram there. Not too much bleed out from that being funny for anybody else. Well, the cartoon's already in my head, so I don't need, since it's not going to be funny for anybody else, I don't think. Probably shouldn't acquire all the drawing skills and all the, right, set up the samples and add in my own voiceover to some of the samples. So some of them will be direct samples, some will be like my voice trying to copy the samples, and some might just be random stuff. And then, I don't know, maybe make a Flash type animation about it, type situation, where it's actual like screenshots and cutaways and using Photoshop, then animating those pictures, and, I don't know. Not actual cartoon, but almost like an old school Monty Python type cartoon, Monty Python type animation. Yep, that's what I would do. It would be a Oh Yeah Buoy. The Oh Yeah Buoy. That's what I would call it. All right, so that's done. We're on our last exercise, which is such fun. Always a special place in my heart. Flies. Bent over flies. Speaking of flies, there's been at least 3 flies. I thought it was 1, but I just saw 2 in there flying around in the air, and saw 1 in my bathroom, so there's a possibility of 3 flies. And I'm just gonna let them live, because I've seen a couple spiders in the house that are of the non-poisonous variety, and if they're non-poisonous, spiders, let them live. Now, if they're seeming like they're sick and not moving, I'll bring them outside, but All right, so there's the chair. Do I have this dialed up for which weights? I think it's these weights over here, but it might be these weights. Nope, it's the ones over here. So, only 1 breathing exercise pretty much for this. Maybe I'll do a breath or a few words in between all the sets, but 1 set of 15, and then 4 sets of 5. Got the weights that I'm using for this. I'm gonna scoot that chair back a little bit more. Give it a good spot. Seems like a good spot. All right, a little bit of reason number 16 why I do this on video. Let's see how far my arms go up without any weight. There's where my elbows should be. So hopefully I'm hitting this spot, and maybe, that hurts. Well, it doesn't hurt, it just doesn't want to go that much further. So this is the safe end zone for, ending zone, end zone for the end of the halfway point on the lift. So ending lift right here, going back down, right there. Okay. Gonna do some breathing. Gonna use my mouth for this one for something different. Not putting the tongue to the roof of my mouth. Although that's weird if you try to breathe with your mouth and do that. Hold on. Is there something? Is there somebody at the door? What was that? I don't know. When you're all alone, it's funny to you. Farts are a gift when you're all alone. When you're in public around other people, they're a curse. Gifts and curse. That was the best fart all day. All right, starting. Maybe a breathing exercise is not the best idea right now. Oh well, I'm human. You live and you learn. You know what the sad thing is? When your shit doesn't smell, that means you do. No, I don't smell that fart. Like, what is it? Like, it's just my house. I don't know. I've been experimenting with different scents in the house. This is not a fart joke. In one area, I got a thing that does liquid potpourri. In another area, I actually have incense. In another area, I'm gonna put in a scent, like one of those like scented candles type thing. I think I have some of those laying around, and I'm gonna see which areas they mix in, and I'm gonna try to. I'll make it something very. My sniffer is not that great, but something that's very distinct. So each area gets something distinct, and maybe in 2 more areas. That's going a little too far. I'll start with 3 areas, and and see where the scents blend, and see what it seems like. That could be a lot of fun. So anyway, although I hear too much air freshener inside a closed place is toxic, so not actually using an air freshener per se, but then again, what is liquid potpourri? Probably an air freshener. What is incense? Smoke? What is those sticks things? Those anyway, candles, same thing. Smoke. Yeah. Anyway, that's all besides the point. Breathing. Not much for the breath holds on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I smell that fart. Gee whiz. Okay, better. All right. Did you have to let it linger? Anyway, did you have to? Did you have to? Did you have to pull my finger? All right. Set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fourth set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Felt that right here and right here in my shoulders, which is probably a good place to feel it. Should be feeling it in my back. Whatever. As long as I'm feeling it somewhere, I'm sure it'll do some splash damage. Or damage. What else is workout but a little bit of damage that your body's smart enough to repair. Break it worse to fix it better. Oh, good stuff. All right. And of course, my signature move of making sure my knees and everything feels good. Take my elbows off there and just make sure my body can get up. Get up with a little bit of weight and not have any problem with that. I don't know if I'm stronger than I used to be. I know I don't think I look very strong, especially with this just hanging out. Look at my body, it's just like, ugh. But at the same time, there is some definition and some, I guess, veins and whatnot. Do I really want that? No. Veins kind of scare me. It's like if you cut somewhere, let's say you have big veins sticking out and someone cuts that area
Are you just going to bleed a lot faster? I don't know. I don't know these questions and answers. But then again, I kind of like the idea of veins because that means my body can feel better because nourishing blood can get to where it needs to a little bit faster. And I hear stories about people with necrotic tissue because they have poor circulation. And it's just like maybe lifting some weights to the point where you actually get veins in the area could really do some good. I don't know. This is something that I just speculation at best. I have no real knowledge of that. So either way, I'm going to look at it as a good thing. People have lived with it and it's not hurt them. So, and I certainly know poor circulation hurts a lot of people. So probably big veins are a good thing. And they always work better in dick jokes. Just add big veins to a dick joke, and it turns it up to 11. Anyway, I have to be. The balance must be maintained. As serious as you get, as silly as you get. Need the crest and the trough. Need the mind on great matters of spirit. I also need the mind deep in the gutter. Keep myself balanced. Not take myself too seriously. Not be proud, like if you do a meditation or something that lasts 45 minutes, but the meditation's all about humility, and you get a big ego for doing it for 45 minutes. It's like, wasn't the meditation about humility? Which reminds me, there's some stuff I need to reread. There's that fly. What's going on, buddy? I think you're just a basic blowfly. What are you doing around here? I haven't left any food out. I'm pretty sure I knew when you came in too. I think it was yesterday. Had that door open and had some food out. Unless there's something decomposing somewhere around here, but then you'd have like 1,000 buddies, wouldn't you? Which is a good thing. I remember there was, I think, a rat or something that died outside one of my windows, and a whole bunch of flies came, and I think there were some maggots that developed in between the screen and the window. For like a little while, I had just a whole bunch of flies like stuck in the screen, like full grown. Like, how did they get in there? Maybe that's what happened, I don't know. Maybe there was a hole, they all flew in and they didn't really know how to get out, I don't know. Maybe something shifted and the hole like closed up. I don't know. I know flies and maggots are not spontaneously generated. What's going on, friend? Yeah. Well, party it up. I think you only live for like 20 some hours. So I probably won't see you tomorrow. But hopefully you had a worthwhile experience. Maybe you realize somewhere in your mind that there's this entity that's talking to you and wishes you no ill, but probably just scared you just the same. Hey, here's my finger. You want to fly on top of my finger? You can sniff it if you want. Oh, I know when you do that thing, you're probably puking on it, but that's okay. I got a lot of nasty sweat on me anyway, so. Yeah, hey, what's going on? Yeah, what's with that spot? Why are you tempted? Your nervous system's so much faster than mine. Anyway, so he landed this particular spot. I wonder what was going on there. All right. I like a lot of animals that aren't really a danger to me. I like a lot of people that aren't really a danger to me. Well, although any human beings are capable of being dangerous in the right situation. I truly believe that, almost any. But then again, I like some animals that are probably very dangerous to me that I've been friends with. Remember my friend's dog. Someone tossed a basketball too close to the dog, and it bit and it grabbed on the basketball and like popped it. Now I'm thinking that was pretty old and well-used basketball, but we were still playing basketball with it. I'm not really a huge fan of basketball, so I was playing airball. Everybody else was playing basketball. But thank goodness it wasn't my throw that went to the dog. It was somebody bounced and went, you know. Anyway, so you're just like, whoa, did that, wow. You know, the jaw power and being able to, like, oh, man. That was several years ago. I'd be willing to bet that dog's not alive anymore. That was a long time ago. I was kind of little back then. That dog was awesome. And I remember one time, there was a dog that I thought was awesome, and I used to play with it and run around with it and run on all fours and stuff and try to keep up with it. And one time it was eating, and I decided to pretend like I was eating it, and don't mess with the dog's food. I did not eat any dog food, but I did get a dog that was my friend, and I might have been like 6 or 7 years old, and was not my friend after that, because it like bit a hole in my cheek, like put your finger through type hole. At least I thought I could put my finger through. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's, but I do remember it bit me in the face. I'm pretty sure it bit through my cheek. Didn't go to the hospital or anything, just kind of glued it up, and you know, no scars, not really. I think there might be something on the inside of my cheek. I'm pretty sure I've had accidental holes in each cheek, one from a fishing situation and one from that dog. The fishing situation came some years after the dog, so at least everything's balanced out, right? Oh man. Life. Gotta appreciate it. You just gotta be thankful. It could have been so much worse. So much worse. So thankful. And neither time was it really chronic and crazy pain. It was just like a shock of pain, and be careful and get away, and yeah, then you're safe, you know. And just remember those moments after the action where you're safe. It's just like, okay, all right, let's really fall in love with this feeling of being safe. You're hurt, but you're safe. Let's fall in love with being safe. It's a nice feeling. It's like the dichotomy of reading a bad book and what I consider a book I don't like anyway. I actually recently read a romance novel, and it basically called romance novels porn for females within the book. I thought that was pretty funny, because it was this guy that was like a porn star, and he was rich and he was famous and good looking. So of course it's just like, I don't know. I kind of hate, you know, the fact that like rich and good looking, like, you know, of course, you know, like, I don't know. I don't read too many romance novels. Once every like 3 or 4 years, I might pick one up. Sometimes if I pick up a random book and it turns out to be a romance novel, I'll just cut through it anyway. That's what happened with this one. I thought it was about something else due to the name, but nope. I thought it was about interviews or something. Nope. But I assumed within the first couple paragraphs, I knew it was like, oh, there's a man that's rich and good looking, and there's a woman that is good looking, but they don't really describe her looks very much, or at least the author doesn't. And it's just like the every woman, whatever, that is stifled and held back. And anyway, won't get into the explanation, but if I wrote a formula for a romance novel, it's like, okay, that checked all the boxes. All right, so he beats up somebody who's not rich, not good looking, but also that guy's a scumbag, and it's just like, anyway, so like, okay, yeah, I just had to do that and be like, oh, yeah, that is a horrible book I'll never recommend to anybody. But at least the one saving feature in it, at one point, he describes romance novels as porn for women. And it was just like, cool. You had the guts to put that in a romance novel. Congratulations. but it was kind of an off-the-cuff remark by one of the characters. So, anyway, yeah. But then it made me appreciate some of the books I read afterwards that were so much better. I went through, God, what was it? Sapiens and Homo Deus, Homo Deus, and then 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. All of that, like, messed with my mind in a good way. Then I read some other stuff after it. Been doing a good bit of reading lately. Yeah, I had a book that was going to be like 8 hours, let's say, at like reading at a speed of, I think about 500 words per minute, somewhere around there. And then bump it up to like 575 words per minute, and it takes like a total hour off. Pretty awesome. But I guess it makes sense if you just do ratios, you know. Anyway, so this is the end talking period. I'm going to do somewhere between 30 and 60 breaths, 30 and 70, let's say, because 30 and 70 is still between 30 and 60. 30 and 70 breaths, 30 and 800,000 breaths, and then we'll end this thing. I know. Moving while breathing is something I don't normally do, but a little bit of motion breath on that. Probably didn't allow it to go as deep as I wanted to, but there's something special about that motion and stretching and all that kind of stuff. Just feeling good in my own body. Definitely, I wish that upon almost everybody. Feeling good within their own body. Enjoy it. It's a loner, but, you know. Enjoy it nonetheless. Later it shall be.